Hello. First off, I would like to thank family, the King Center, and the Ebenezer Baptist Church for welcoming me to this wonderful event of celebration, remembrance, and action. I have had the privilege of growing up in the beautiful District 5 that is the epicenter of civil rights history and was the epicenter of the civil rights movement. I have grown up with the Honorable John Lewis as my representative,
Right.
a man who marched alongside Dr. King, a man who was the youngest speaker at the March on Washington, and I have had the privilege to learn so much about the life and legacy of Dr. King. I've heard stories from my mom about how my late grandfather got to meet Dr. King on multiple occasions. I've had the privilege of talking to a man who drove Dr. King and was a friend of the King family, and I heard stories from him about Dr. King.